Hi, my name's Starsky and welcome to From the Studio on Clubbing TV. In this episode, I'm going to be having a play with a new take on the studio in a box idea. It's the Roland Verselab MV-1. Well, what exactly is this? It's basically a groove box that's got the ability to record whole vocal takes over the top of your song. All of the groove box I can think of allow you to create scenes consisting of a number of tracks to make a complete beat. You can have drums, bass, synths, samples, whatever you like really to build your loops, and then you can normally arrange them into a song structure, but this is the only one that allows you to record something over the top of that song that spans several sections or loops. So it can play over a whole verse. You could record something over a whole verse, hence the name Verselab. This looks like a great result for Roland. We put everything we had in the box there. The kick, snare, hi-hat and a load of percussion, along with some bass tones and class synth sounds. With the vocal flying over the top, we were in great form. And would you say this new formation is a bit like a new take on the old studio in a box idea? A bit like a modern Porter studio? Well, I couldn't comment on that, but everyone played their part, and I'll let the results speak for itself. The lads did great, and I'm very proud of them all. Thanks for your time, Kit. No problem. So, I think that explains what it is. Let's now take a look at how it works, and we'll start off by looking at exactly what we've got here. So looking at it, it's a nice little box this. It's obviously Roland, it looks like Roland style, it feels like it's Roland quality as well. It's nice and colourful, and the first thing you notice are these nice 16 pads that we've got here, and these allow you to play either the notes or a section. So if we're on note mode, for example, and then we've got scene selection as well. So this will play everything in that scene. Or if we're playing a kit, we play all the different sounds in that kit. So that's pretty much what you'd expect from any groove box, but then we've got this thing here called workflow, and this determines where you are in your song structure. So the structure is you've got the song at the top, then we've got 16 sections. Here we've got the 16 section buttons here. So in this song we've got 8 sections that have been recorded. Those sections have been made from these 7 different tracks. And if we look at this, we can see the kicks used on all of them, the snares used on 2 to 6, and the kit has been used on sections 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 16 sections make up the song, and the song can have 99 sections all in all, and you use these buttons along the bottom here to choose which sections play at what point in the song, and you also use these for XOX style step recording on each of your parts in each of your separate 7 tracks. So if we look down here, we've got drum tracks and we've got melodic tracks. They're labelled here kick, snare, hi-hat and kit for the drum tracks, with melodic tracks being the bass, instrument 1 and instrument 2. So your sequences build your sections, and your sections build your song. So on this, I'm looking at the bass, we can see where the bass is playing. On the section, we can see the section is 8 bars long. And on the song, we can now see which sections are playing in which part of the song. So we start off with section 1. Next segment of the song is section 2. Segments 3 and 4 of the song are section 5. And we can see it's all colour coordinated to make it really easy to follow. It gets really difficult talking about sequences, song, sections and segments without getting tongue-tied. So I'll try my best here. So it's really easy to follow what you're doing. It's really easy to build the sections and super easy to build the song from the sections. So the front panel sort of guides you through everything. And on the back, we've got these rear connections. We've got a big, nice XLR mic input. It's got phantom power, which you need for high-end dynamic mics. You'd probably use for high quality recording. I've tried using a high-end condenser mic, cost a few £100, it needs phantom power, and also with a dynamic mic, this is what you'd normally use if you play live. It doesn't take phantom power, so turn your phantom power off when you're using something like this, because you may well break it. It doesn't like 48 volts if it doesn't need 48 volts. And then we can also use the built-in mic. It's really poor quality as far as mics go, but it's really handy to have there just to jot down ideas. Then we've got MIDI in and MIDI out. So we can use this as the control center for a doorless setup, which is something I'll show in another episode. We've also got USB for MIDI, and this can be used as a class compliant stereo audio interface, so you don't need any drivers for it. But if you want to use the Roland driver, you get a 10-track audio interface, which I've used here, and you can see it records each of the tracks individually. We've also got a stereo in and a stereo out. The stereo in can be used for sampling, as can the USB or the mic as well. And we've got a slot for an SSD card. The unit comes with 8GB card preloaded with some nice demo tracks, along with lots of samples to get you going. On the front of the unit, we've got a large and we've got a small headphones output. And although it's only got this tiny little 2-line LED screen, you can sync it to your iPad using Roland's free Zenbeat software, and this syncs up really nicely, and in particular it's really good for the mixer section and looking at the effects. But there's so much in this box, it's difficult to know where to start. But I think maybe we should start by looking at creating a track. So if I go to clear kick, cancel, OK. Now it can be a drum kit track, or you could have a tone track. So on the kick, I could put whatever I want. Let's go into tone track, and I could use a preset or a sample. It's got over 3,000 Zencore preset sounds in here, covering all sorts of sounds and all sorts of genres. And it's also got the ability to load samples. The SD card, as I said, comes with samples. But let's start off with a preset. That's okay. It's all put into various categories. Let's put a pad on the kick. So let's see what retro choir pad is. We could also create a kit track. So let's go back again, clear the kick. Let's put a drum kit track. Okay, it's added a drum kit track, and what have we got in here? 808 sounds. And that's a preset kick, that's not a sample. So that's created by the inbuilt synth engine. If we go into the sound, we've got all those classic Roland kicks. We've got 808s. (909s). (606). 707. The CR78. And then just all sorts of nice juicy kicks. There are differences between the tracks. These instruments are particularly different as these can play loops. So let's look at instrument 1. Let's go into the loops. Go to the beats. Audition it using this button here. That's nice, let's use that. And you can hear there, it's playing at 126 or 124 BPM, whatever we're on here. But only instrument 1 and instrument 2 can be used as looper tracks. Now we know how to set up a track, let's record a clip on one. The clips are the most fundamental building block of any track, and it's where you record the sequences for each instrument. So if we go into sequence mode, you can simply add kicks using the XOX style along the bottom. Let's record something on the kit then, shall we? So we're in kit mode, we're on note 1, which is the kick. Let's put a closed hat on first, shall we? So really basic step edit, and you can make that 128 steps long if you want. I won't bother with doing that now. So step editing, or you could play live, press record, press play, and then we get a 4-beat intro. Really quite intuitive and easy to use. Song mode is where we can access the most unique feature, which is this vocal track. And I don't want to put anyone through the agony of me singing, so I'll show this on one of the demo tracks that comes with the unit. The demo tracks are really high quality, so good in fact I did a YouTube video just playing the demo tracks with a little bit of annotation explaining what it does. It seems a shame that the quality of these tracks is only heard by people that actually own the Verselab. On this song we've got 6 different vocal takes.
Damn, throw that waste for me.
And you can hear there we've got different effects on those 2 takes, and you can record the vocal processor live onto the track, so you don't have to use the processor when you're playing it back, which means you can have different effects on the different vocal tracks. So super simple. You record them in literally by pressing where you want to be on the track, and then you press record when you're in the song mode, and you've got the vocal track highlighted. That's simple. But we can also, once we've recorded something, we can then go and place it wherever we like on the track. If we edit that take, we can go to the take sequence edit, okay, and then we can just add it to wherever we want in the song. There we go, it's added to the very, very start of the song.
Throw that waste for me.
You can play more than one of the vocals at a time. You're not restricted to playing one after the other, so you can make harmonies, you can play guitar, have the vocals singing over the top. So although it's called a vocal track, you know, you can do whatever you want with it, really, like I said earlier on. So really super flexible. But now you know what it can do. Is it for you? This is the third in Roland's recent line of groove boxes. There's the MV-1 and the 707, and then there are competitor products like the Akai MPC series, but none of those can record over the top of the grooves with a vocal track like this can. So if you want something that can really be a replacement for a DAW, audio interface, a MIDI controller, this may be the only option, which is why I was interested in having a play with it. And you don't have to record vocals, as I say, you can record whatever you like over the top. So really is a DAW in a box, especially when you've got access to all the compressors and all the effects that I've not even looked at here. It's around £550 or 650 euros, so cheaper than a laptop, an interface and a controller, and much easier to carry around. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, don't forget you can catch this and all the episodes on the Clubbing TV official YouTube channel on our From the Studio playlist. And I've also got some more in-depth demonstrations of this on my Starsky Carr YouTube channel, which is also well worth a look if you're into your music production. So I'll see you in the next episode of From the Studio.